Hey Noah, it's Suzie. How are you? I miss you, buddy. But even though I can't talk to you on the phone, I thought I could read you a story. I hope you like this one. It's called Weird, and it's written by Anne Harth. So we know that Anne Harth is she's the author. That's right, buddy. Okay, here we go. Weird. Annie sat in the park. She wore a bright red hat. She wore flowers in her hair. Butterflies flitted around her. Look, Mark said to Tracy, there's Annie. She's weird. No, she's not. She looks beautiful. Tracy wished that she had a red hat and flowers too. At school, Annie sat alone. She ate her lunch and sang happy songs. Tracy listened. Mark walked by. Now, do you think Annie's weird? He whispered to Tracy. No, Tracy said. She made those songs up herself. Tracy loved to sing, but she only sang when she was alone. Annie waited at the bus stop. She twirled in circles. She hopped. She skipped. She danced. Mark and Tracy waited for the bus too. Now you have to think Annie's weird, Mark said. She's dancing all by herself. There's nothing wrong with that, Tracy said. She's having fun. She felt like dancing too. The bus came. Annie jumped on. She sat in the back seat, and Mark sat in front. Tracy got on last. She walked to the back of the bus. Hi, Annie, Tracy said. Can I sit with you? Annie scooted over. Tracy and Annie talked and laughed all the way home. Do you want to go to the park tomorrow? Tracy asked. Yes, said Annie, but don't forget your umbrella. Tracy looked at the clear sky. Is it going to rain? Annie looked up. No, it's going to be sunny, she said. Annie was right. The next day was sunny, but Tracy took her yellow umbrella anyway. And when she got to the park, she was very hot. Annie was already there. I'm hot, Tracy said. Me too, said Annie as she put up her umbrella. She held it over her head. But it's cool under here, Tracy laughed. She put up her umbrella. I'm in the shade too. Mark walked past. Umbrellas? Now both of you are weird. No, we're not, Tracy said as she looked at Mark. His face was red. He looked hot. We're both in the shade, Tracy said. Want to come over? Mark wiped his face. Okay, he said. He sat between Tracy and Annie. They all sat in the shade under the umbrellas. Thanks. Now I feel cool, said Mark. He looked at Tracy and Annie. Maybe you're not that weird after all, he said with a smile. All right, Noah, let's see. Where does Tracy first talk to Annie? When do we remember was the first time that they were talking? I think it was on the bus ride, right? Remember, Tracy went over and asked Annie if she could sit next to her, and she scooted over, and they talked and laughed the whole ride home. What does Mark see Annie do? Well, he sees her do lots of things, right? He sees her use an umbrella when it's sunny. He sees her singing at the cafeteria by herself. He sees her dancing and skipping at the bus stop. And he thinks she's weird, but she's kind of just having her own fun. Why does Annie bring an umbrella to the park? Remember, it wasn't raining that day, so why did they need the umbrella at the park? Yeah, they put the umbrella up so that they could have some shade. If it's sunny and you put up the umbrella, it gets shady under it, so it's not so hot. And then what do you think will happen next? So when we last saw them in the story, Mark and Tracy and Annie were all sitting under the two umbrellas in the park. Yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe that all three of them will start to be friends and they won't think that Annie's weird anymore. Anyway, I hope you liked that story, Noah. I miss you. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I hope you're doing good reading at home. And I'll talk to you real soon. Okay, bye, buddy.